How's it going, everybody? It's the Keenest Fox here, and this is my channel where I talk about anime, video games, and cartoons. And we're back at it again. I promised that I was going to make more videos on Harriyanna Hook and stuff. I mean, I'm not making a video on all of her videos, just a few that I just kind of take issue with, or I have a problem with, or I totally just flat out disagree with, and I don't think one simple comment will be enough to express how I truly think of her videos. So I feel like, so who is Harriyanna Hook? So basically she's this YouTuber and stuff. She likes to talk about stuff like cartoons and children's shows and stuff and the problems in there and whatnot. She has her own kind of private business going on. She has a little web series and whatnot, which I kind of respect. At least the web series and the what you call it and the private business and stuff. That's pretty cool. But like I said, I just don't agree with mainly my main issue with her is just I don't like her. I don't take issue. Like I take issue with her ideology and whatnot, because she seems to make everything about race and misogyny and stuff, and she tends to play victim whenever people call her out for it. So yeah. Recently she made a video. I'm not sure if that's in response to my video or not, since my video kind of got a little traction, like 400 views. That's pretty cool. And again, I mean, part of me is doing it for the clout a little bit, but also I just like the reason why I'm choosing her of all people is because I totally disagree with her opinion, and it's like blown way out of proportion. Like I don't even think like how can somebody like so how can somebody possibly get to this conclusion out of all things? That's how I feel. So I'll definitely share my entire thoughts about her video because I'm going to be reacting to this video right here. The diversity in Scooby-Doo kind of sucks. So yeah, and again, I don't really watch all these shows that she talks about and stuff. Maybe some of them like Scooby-Doo or Miraculous and stuff, because yeah, I do watch a little bit of Miraculous. I'm not gonna lie to you there. Um, I don't know. Maybe I have a thing for like magical girl animes or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I know Miraculous can be argued to be a cartoon, anime, whatever. But this is the video. So let's get into it.
They are adding in that diversity that needs to be there because, like I said, straight white people are not the only people that watch television, okay? They're not. Warner Brothers, you need Black Daphne right here.
Yeah, you can probably see why I take issue with her videos. Just with that alone. Like, come on. And again, I'm not trying to bully anyone, or I'm not trying to like get her like canceled or kicked off of YouTube or whatever. But again, I'm just calling her out because I just don't think that shit will fly and whatnot. And I think it's actually kind of a little bit racist to be saying stuff like this and whatnot, you know. But anyways, but yeah, let's get into the video. So again, it's just some constructive criticism, nothing more, nothing less. I'm not gonna rag on her looks. I'm not gonna say that she's stupid or something. Well, a little bit, but I'm not gonna say she's just up stupid or whatever. None of that. But I think this ideology and this way of thinking is just in fact stupid. But let's get into it.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo, Raggy Scooby-Dooby-Doo, Raggy.
Hey y'all, it's Harriyanna and I'm back with another video. If you're new here, hello, welcome to or welcome back to the pirate ship, also known as Harry Hook's pirate ship. I am the captain and I have no first mate. You are on my ship. I run the show over here. Hello.
But again, if you want to check out her videos, check out her videos. I've already showed you her channel. It's Harriyanna Hook. So think of this as promotion, I guess.
If you're new here, my name is
To her channel.
Harriyanna, and I like to make content based off nostalgia and family and children's entertainment and all the issues that I find within those spaces, okay? I freaking love Scooby-Doo. I adore Scooby-Doo. One thing about me, Harry Hassanati, is that she gonna watch her some Scooby-Doo. I love Scooby-Doo with all my heart. Scooby-Doo is literally one of the few things about a group of white people that will always have my full undivided attention. I love Scooby-Doo so freaking much. It makes no damn sense.
And yeah, another reason why I chose Scooby-Doo as well, or not why I chose, but why I chose this video and why she's talking about Scooby-Doo is because, yeah, I also grew up with Scooby-Doo as well. I mean, of course, Scooby-Doo has been been a part of like a lot of people's childhood and stuff. I mean, I definitely used to watch like I had some like DVDs and some tapes of like some of the old cartoons like the What's New Scooby-Doo or yeah, or like the old '60s Scooby-Doo, like Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? That stuff. Mystery Incorporated was kind of good. I probably really need to finish it low key. But yeah. But on a serious note though, but yeah, I mean, I grew up with Scooby-Doo as well, which is why I kind of take issue with this. Well, one of the reasons why I take issue with this video and whatnot. But let's get into it. I know I keep pausing it, but
How much I enjoy this franchise, okay? I grew up on Scooby-Doo. I watched whatever version of it was that was on. There are certain versions that I strongly don't like, and then there are ones that I just love more than others, okay? I love the 2 live-action theatrical films. I don't like the other 2 live-action films, the ones that were in theaters, the ones you had to go pay to see. Those are the ones that I love, okay? I was obsessed with Scooby-Doo Mystery Inc. when I was in high school. Videos on that show will be coming soon. You guys have been begging me to talk about Scooby-Doo Mystery Inc. And I do want to talk about Scooby-Doo Mystery Inc. I just don't want to do a flat-out boring review because y'all know I am more than that. I want to do analysis and stuff like that. The fun stuff. The fun stuff. I already have one analysis planned already about Scooby-Doo Mystery Inc. But we're going to get there. We are going to get there. And I was also obsessed with like Be Cool Scooby-Doo and Scooby-Doo Mystery Inc. around the same time. Like the main reason I didn't watch Be Cool Scooby-Doo in the first place is because I was salty that this Scooby-Doo Mystery Inc. ended and then they decided to bring it back with Be Cool Scooby-Doo. I was so hurt, but I freaking love Be Cool Scooby-Doo. It has that.
I didn't really watch Be Cool Scooby-Doo, mainly because I don't know. They were rebooting a lot of cartoons and stuff, turning them into just straight up just comedy. Well, Scooby-Doo is kind of a bit of a comedy, but it's supposed to be like a little fun mystery kind of drama. Back in the old days, just something like I guess like a little brain teaser for the kids. But this Be Cool Scooby-Doo, I never really watched it. It might be better than I might be giving it credit for, or better than what I gave it credit for back then when I heard it came out. But yeah, but to me, I don't know. Maybe it might just be another Thundercats roar or something, or whatever. I don't know. But
Dry ass sense of humor that I get from watching the most popular girls in school. Be Cool Scooby-Doo has that Adult Swim type humor, if that makes sense. Like, I think Be Cool Scooby-Doo is funnier as an adult than as a kid. Like, I know if I was a kid, I probably wouldn't find that show funny. It's amazing, okay? But those 2 shows right there, I was obsessed with them a lot when I was in high school. I'm still pretty obsessed with Be Cool Scooby-Doo, too. I still watch the reruns from time to time. I just love me some Scooby-Doo, okay? I am currently in the process of collecting the films because I'm just such a Scooby-Doo-aholic, okay? And creating my own Scooby-Doo merch. There is going to be Scooby-Doo merch coming out. That is going to be my next collection to my store. I know a lot of people be wondering what I'm going to drop next for my shop. Scooby-Doo is coming next, y'all. Scooby-Doo is coming next, and I am super duper excited to get that for you guys. Now, Scooby-Doo has done so much.
and like I said, just to keep it positive, if you're interested in checking out her store, check it out. She could probably have some good stuff.
For me as a person, and one thing about I've noticed is that this would be a bit of a nice change to the franchise, okay?
Here we go.
Because I'm not saying that Scooby-Doo doesn't have diversity, because it does have diversity. It has a lot of diversity, and it does that diversity pretty well to a certain extent, okay? Like, in the beginning, you can say Scooby-Doo's diversity was bad. Like I said, it was just about a bunch of white people. But literally, during that time when it came out, all cartoons were just about white people, okay? Like, it was just a reflection section of the time being, there wasn't much diversity to begin with when it came to animation in general. Like, yeah, we got the black girl and Josie and the Pussycats, but other than that, no, we just didn't really get much. We don't. I think.
Yeah, so you can kind of see my problems there. So the diversity sucks in Scooby-Doo, and it wasn't diverse enough, and it was reflective of the times. Yeah, that's stuff like saying stuff like that is kind of what I take issue with. Now, let me tell you this. First off, the reason why there's so many white characters, especially back in the day, or why there's so many white characters in animation or cartoons, is because this is America and whatnot, where we have American animation and all that. I mean, of course, characters like Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, Ariel. Well, Ariel is really a mermaid, but still, she's white. I don't care what anybody says. Um, yeah, etc. Yes, they're white. Yeah, like yeah, they're white. He-Man, he's white. Even though he's technically some kind of alien or whatever, but his mom's white because she's a human. But my point being, yeah, they're white, etc. The reason why is because it's America and whatnot, where majority of people are going to be white. I mean, it's just facts. Yeah, there are like people who are minorities and stuff, like black people, um, Hispanic people, yeah, gay people and stuff. Yeah, that's the minority. But yeah, which is why there wouldn't be too many like, such and such people in such and such shows, right? Now, there are of course black characters in certain things and stuff. It's just that it's not like well, it's like complete like black people dominate such and such amount of like cartoons and stuff and cartoon. Yeah, but yeah, and the reason for that is because again, it's America. There are more white people, more Caucasians than there are people who are African American, right? Which is why, again, African American people are known as, or not even just African Americans, but just anyone, like, well, not anyone, but mostly like people of color, for example, are just minorities, which isn't a bad thing. It's just, well, that's the reason why. So, yeah, so I feel like that's kind of a little ignorant on her part and stuff. So let's continue.
There was a black girl in Gym and the holograms too. But anyway, like I'm saying, the diversity department was lacking in the past when it came to animation.
Oh yeah, and I'm sorry for the video lagging and stuff. I don't know, my computer's a little sluggish. Um, I've been having a little technical difficulties lately. But just to clarify, diversity, despite what a lot of people think that it means anything that's not white, I don't think she knows what sorry. I don't think she knows what the definition of diversity is. Because diversity doesn't mean a person of color, it doesn't mean black this, black that, Hispanic this, Asian that. No, that's not what diversity is. Diversity is basically it's basically various genders, various well, not various genders, but yeah, like it can vary in various genders, various religions, various ethnicities, which is in part of race, yeah. Ethnicities, religion, you name it. So let's talk about Scooby-Doo, for example. You have your main characters. You have Shaggy, Velma, Fred, Daphne, and Scooby-Doo, right? You got Scooby, who's a dog. You got Shaggy, who's a little slim dude. Green t-shirt and whatnot, kind of looks like a little bit of a stoner. You got Freddy, he's a blonde guy. Wears a little handkerchief and stuff, wears blue. You got Daphne, she's the redhead and whatnot, pretty girl and stuff, but she's also like, detective. Well, they're all detectives anyways. And then you have Velma, who's like the smart one, nerdy girl, wears glasses and stuff, can't see for the life of her. Kind of has like kind of a brownish kind of hair, or like red brownish. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's like brown and whatnot. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, it's not like like that. Like the characters are not all the same, so I wouldn't really say that's like diverse but in a way, I mean, yeah, they're all different and unique in their own way. They all stand out. So yeah, because I mean, you can be white and still be diverse. Like diverse doesn't mean anything that's not Caucasian. Because I mean, you can still be white. Like for example, you can be Russian, you can be Irish, you can be Scottish, you can be I don't know, you can be Canadian, you can be French, British, you name it. Like that's diversity right there. I don't care what anyone got to say. That's diversity. and whatnot, because it's not the same ethnicity as well they're the same person, so no. But again, white people can definitely be diverse and whatnot, not just people of color.
Anyways, I think Scooby-Doo did adjust pretty well to adding in diversity as the years go on to their franchise, which makes me happy, okay? The adventures that the mystery game go on.
And another side note, just to point this out, diversity does not matter, and whatnot. I mean, in a way, I feel like, well, representation maybe it matters to some extent, but in terms of like telling good stories and stuff, no. Yeah, I'm like no. Or at least like like for Scooby-Doo, that is no. Scooby-Doo is good the way it is. You don't have to change these characters and whatnot just to be all like, oh, well, to check a box or whatever. And I'll probably put up some clips of what I think other people had to say, which I will address later. But yeah.
They are often involved with people of color, which is a great thing. They are adding in that diversity that needs to be there because, like I said, straight white people are not the only people that watch television, okay? They're not.
And again, you don't have to be straight and white just to go like, oh yeah, well I could totally. I mean, you can be gay and I don't know black and still watch Scooby-Doo and whatnot. I mean, I'm not gay, but I certainly am black. I mean, believe it or not. Like I said, I think on the video that she might have made in response to my video, I don't know if it's in response to me. I don't want to make the world center around me or anything. Maybe, but the reason why I don't show my face because she mentioned that, saying that she likes to show her face or whatever on camera because she wants to like provide some kind of voice or something for like black girls and all that or whatever, which is cool and all. And honestly, you don't even have to take my word if I'm black or not. I mean, you saw my face reveal video, so it's up to you to determine whether or not my race and whatnot. And you heard my voice and everything that that's exactly what I look like. But I don't know. But regardless, black, white, yellow, I don't care. What you think I am. Regardless of the fact, yeah, I still don't like. You can still enjoy Scooby Doo nonetheless. Like you don't have to have these characters be exactly like you for you to in order to just enjoy it. Like that's bullshit. If you think otherwise.
John and Lynn wanted the dancers and the big numbers to feel very truthful to what the community looks like.
Did you not see that in the dancers as well?
Those are roles that historically we've been able to fill, right? We've been able to be the dancers and we've been able to be in the hair salons and this and that, but like a lead, that's the breakthrough. We want to see black people in the Heights. We want to see Afro-Panamanians, black Cubans, black Dominicans. That's what we want to see, and that's what we were yearning for and hoping for.
After watching the Roots in the Heights interview, I sat and thought for a minute, and I was just like, you know what? Scooby-Doo has a bit of a problem when it comes to race, and I am gonna talk about it. Scooby-Doo has been here since the 60s, 1960s. Remember in Hairspray when she said, Mama, it's the 60s and things are changing, welcome to the 60s? We thought stuff was changing. Why is the Mystery Inc. still being played by all white people? It's not a problem with them being white people. It's the problem is that they're always played by white people, okay? They are always freaking played by white.
Jeez, why is Mystery Incorporated played by all white people? I don't know, Harriyanna. Maybe because that's how we all know the characters? I mean, duh. Like, oh my god, this is stupid. Look, now I know like in some stuff like in some shows they might have like indirect like influences on one another, like for example, let's take Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm going to take that for example. Okay, now back in like not a lot of people, unless you read the old comics or your TMNT stuff, the turtles back in the old Mirage comics back in like when they first appeared, originally they all wore red bandanas and stuff. Not a lot of people know that, like all of them, not just Raphael. I mean, Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello, they all wore red bandanas, right? And then later on, when they got like transferred into like the cartoons and stuff, like the 1987 cartoon, and that show, that was the first time they started wearing multicolored bandanas. So Leonardo was wearing blue, Raphael kept his red, Donatello wore purple, and Michelangelo wore orange, right? Cool. Yeah, so I can understand. Yeah, that was a change, and then that ended up having a whole ripple effect where that was kind of like pretty much in the comics and the future cartoons and stuff and the movies, etc. Which is fine because that makes sense, for them to have, so we can at least be able to like identify who's who a lot more easier than just based off their weapons, right? Which makes sense. But for Mr. Incorporated, like, the characters all have such iconic looks to themselves that like, just changing them alone, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever, right? Like, what if I told you that Fred Jones is not a blonde white guy who wears blue and has an orange handkerchief, or that Shaggy Rogers isn't a white guy with shaggy hair and doesn't wear a green shirt and I guess what does he have, like baggy pants and stuff or whatever, or that Velma wasn't some girl. Well, I don't know. She could be white, Asian, whatever. That she was this girl who wore glasses and stuff, an orange sweater, and doesn't wear like this red mini kind of skirt or whatever. Yeah. What if I told you that? Or Daphne wasn't a redhead who wears a bit like a mix up of purple and lavender, right? You wouldn't even be able to tell who these characters are if they didn't have those very things. That's really iconic about the characters.
White people. It's not a problem. It's just always them. That's why it's an issue, okay?
Like back in like The Simpsons and stuff, like The Simpsons had like stuff like I don't know, like like The Simpsons, like the family. They all have iconic looks and stuff. I actually think a lot of people said that season one was probably like, well, not the season one, but the first couple of seasons were probably like the best seasons and stuff. And the Simpsons all had like unique looks to themselves and whatnot. I mean, even though, yeah, I know the Simpsons art style might look a little weird, I guess, but I mean, believe it or not, they all do have unique looks that really do stand out. So just changing those looks alone kind of just sullies the whole reason why those characters look so iconic by their design and why they're so easily identifiable. So let's continue with her video.
There have been a few times when they did add in diversity, and every single time when they did add in a little sprinkle of diversity, it was always to just this one character, and it was Velma, okay? Because the first time anybody in the Mystery Inc. was played by a person of color, it was Haley Cuoco. And she is part Asian, but she's not full Asian, y'all. She's not. She's part Asian, okay? She played Velma in the Cartoon Network live-action Scooby-Doo movies that are honestly just really terrible. I'm a Scooby-Doo fan, and I don't even like those. That's why I just can't do them. And as much as I don't like Gina...
I mean, again, I think she just looked the part and, and she just got it, okay? I mean, that's the whole part of, like, casting. I'm no actor myself, or I'm no director, no, yeah. It's not like I don't do all of that. I'm pretty sure she probably has a little bit more experience. Well, she has a lot more experience with that stuff more so than me because I work in a whole different field. But even I know that, like, when you're like casting characters and stuff, you gotta cast somebody, or at least the smart way to go about it is to cast somebody who actually looks visually like that set of character and can actually pull off the part and everything and whatnot.
Rodriguez, I am happy that in Scoop that Velma was person of color, okay? Because people was talking about Velma look darker than everybody, and I was like, yeah, because she's not white. Have y'all not caught on? Have y'all not caught on? Have y'all not caught on, okay? A person of color was in the Mystery Inc. for those 2 times, okay? And Velma is not my favorite character in Scooby-Doo. I honestly don't care about her all that much. I'm a Daphne stan. I'm a Daphne stan, and I am a Shaggy stan.
It's funny because a lot of people, this is a little side note, a lot of people like to talk about how Velma was kind of like their crush, all that, or how Daphne was their crush. I mean, personally for me, back when I was a kid and I was watching Scooby-Doo, Scooby and Shaggy were just my favorite characters and whatnot. I just cared about the comedy because Scooby and Shaggy, they would always be like goofy and stuff, eating food and stuff. I love Scooby and Shaggy, and I still love Scooby and Shaggy. They're still my favorite characters inside Scooby-Doo. I'm starting to like. I was rewatching Scooby-Doo not too long ago, so I was actually kind of like like looking like at the old '60s Scooby-Doo. I'm like, wow, I actually am starting to respect Shaggy a lot more than I thought. Like, go check it out. The episode, it's pretty cool. Has a bit of nostalgia to it.
And a Fred Stan. I don't know what it is about Daphne. Not Daphne, Velma. I just don't care about her, okay? So I wasn't all that excited when I found out she was going to be getting her own series until I found out Velma was going to be played by a woman of color. And that Velma will be a woman of color. So that reason alone is why I'm going to watch the Velma TV show. Because it's just going to be about a woman of color. Simply for that reason alone, okay?
Yeah, like, that doesn't kind of sound racist. But, and again, I don't like to call people racist or throw that around. Because, again, stuff like that can really ruin a person's life and damage somebody's career. And I don't want to be that guy. But I'm just saying, yeah, like, I just don't like the way how she tends to do it and stuff by calling guys like Butch Hartman misogynistic, like the video I just did last month for. Well, I don't know about Dan Snyder. Like, look, I don't think Dan Snyder. Like, look, I don't like Dan Snyder, but I don't think he's racist, or her just saying such and such. Yeah, just because they don't glorify the said black character or said gay character or said fat character or whatever, then they're every phobic in the book. They're fat phobic, they're homophobic, they're transphobic, whatever. Yeah, every phobic in the book. Like, that's ridiculous. So no, or they're misogynistic or whatever. Then no, that's pretty dumb in my opinion.
I didn't want to watch it until I found that out, okay? And by the way, if y'all ever need a black Daphne, I'm right here. Warner Brothers, if you need black Daphne, right here. I'm right
They should be good.
here. I'm right here. Now back
It's
on
funny
top.
too because I think on my other account I got into an argument with some guy who was saying that you might want to watch out for the people who think that who think that race swapping is racist and stuff. That race swapping redhead characters because a lot of that's been going on for years now. Because they've been race swapping like iconically known redhead characters like I don't know, Wally West and stuff, who's the freaking Flash, into some black kid or whatever. It's weird because Wally's always been a redhead, and that's been one of the most notable iconic things about his character. Like not about his character, but about his design and who he is. And what I mean, I'm not saying his red hair defines him, but I'm just saying that's yeah one of the easier ways to identify him because he used to be Kid Flash. Um, or what else? Mary Jane Watson, definitely one of the most iconic redheads in Marvel comics and stuff. And they race swap Mary Jane inside Spider-Man. What was it? In Spider-Man and Spider-Man Homecoming. Although I mean, yeah, I know it's a whole other character, Michelle Jones, but we know she's supposed to be MJ. And again, I don't have a problem with the actress and stuff. The actress, she looks beautiful and all. But I'm just saying, yeah, and I'll probably talk about Spider-Man as well some other time. But yeah, you get the yeah you'll get the pattern. So yeah, race swapping redhead characters and stuff, it's ridiculous. And I said, don't you think then race swapping yeah, replacing redhead characters for black characters and is actually what's racist here and not the other way around? But yeah, but the guy tried to go on about it and I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Back on topic. The point that I'm just trying to get across with this is that white people, along with straight people, are not the only people that like Scooby-Doo and enjoy this franchise, okay? Scooby-Doo has been loved by so many different kinds of people since it came out in the 60s, okay? Scooby-Doo has one of the biggest fan bases out here ever. Like, adults love it, kids like it, old people love it, babies love it. Scooby-Doo is for everybody, okay? Even animals like it, okay? Okay? We would love to see ourselves in different kinds of people within the mystery gang, okay? Like, they make so many different
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you got like, oh, well, let's make Fred old man, and let's make Velma a baby, and let's make Daphne a parakeet. Like, so what? I mean, they're good the way they are. Like, don't you think it's gonna really ruin them and whatnot in a way if you like change these characters and whatnot from how iconic they? Like I said, I already talked about the whole iconic thing, but let me take for example like how this obviously wouldn't work. Like the Powerpuff Girls script. I'm not sure. Didn't that come out this year? Like, I know the show didn't come out. It was like yeah, but the script got leaked and everybody was dogpiling on it. Like it was that bad. Like I was listening to other people reading that crap and it was trash. Like it was Powerpuff Girls twisted beyond imagination. And when I actually first time I heard about it was from her, I was like, wait, what? Yeah, because she talked about that there was going to be a live action Powerpuff Girls, and I'm like, wait, there is on the CW. I'm like, oh god, like they should not do Powerpuff Girls live action, man. I mean, unless they have some kind of sorry for the noise in the background. If they have some kind of like CGI or something or whatever, I don't know, man. But no, they should not do a live action Powerpuff Girls. And you know what? Like in the script, it was god awful. Like they race swapped Buttercup and made her like I don't know gay or something, and then they race swapped Professor Utonium and was making him like some kind of abusive dad, which was pretty fucked up. I'm surprised they didn't race swap Miss Bellum, but yeah, cause she's the redhead. But yeah, they race swapped Professor Utonium, made him like this asshole and stuff, etc. Like I'm like, this ain't Powerpuff Girls. Um, yeah, it was so fucking cringy as hell. They're trying to make it a little edgy, like, oh, Buttercup killed Mojo Jojo, and I guess Buttercup disagrees with her grandpa or something, even though they never showed Professor Utonium's parents in the actual cartoon in itself. Like, yeah, oh, disagree with his politics and stuff. Like, like that was ridiculous. Like, I'm sorry, who can actually sit here and just be like, okay, this is a banger. This is definitely gonna, yeah. I'm like, how can Craig McCracken? Like, no, I don't even know. Like, I'm like, yeah, obviously Craig McCracken and all the other guys who worked on Pop-Up Girls, obviously those guys had nothing to do with that script because that is a literal spit on their legacy right there. That is trash. They basically just use Pop-Up Girls as a freaking mouthpiece, and that's awful. Now this with Scooby-Doo, I'm just saying, and I know it's never happened for Scooby-Doo yet, which is the unfortunate part because I don't know, maybe somebody might actually try to do something like that. But I'm just saying that that's just gonna just drag Scooby-Doo the name into the mud. Like it's gonna like yeah, like you're gonna like change up like a bunch of things and whatnot about Scooby-Doo that people already like. Because again, why would you change an actual good series and whatnot? And yeah, like you're just gonna ruin it.
Variations of Scooby-Doo, okay? And literally none of them are the same. Barely any of them have continuity, okay? Every single last version of Scooby-Doo out here barely contributes to the next thing that comes out with Scooby-Doo, okay? And that's one amazing thing about Scooby-Doo franchise in general, is that you may not like this one version of Scooby-Doo, but you may like another. That's the beautiful thing about Scooby-Doo. There's something for everybody. You like the scary stuff, watch Witches, Ghosts, and what's that thing called? Mystery Inc. If you're looking for a soap opera, that's right there. If you're looking for some comedy, some dry ass humor, go watch Be Cool Scooby-Doo. If you just want action and adventure, watch Scooby-Doo. What's New Scooby-Doo? That's honestly one of my least favorite when it comes to Scooby-Doo. If you just want something old to throw on in the background, watch the original Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? But like I said, hell, these barely have any continuity. Literally none of these play into each other. They release movies all year long, okay? Different versions of Scooby-Doo come out every freaking year. So let's say in one version, Fred has a male love interest and that Daphne is black. And then in another version, Shaggy could be
You get
Latino and Velma could have a female love interest. And then in another version, one of the members could be non-binary and so on.
you can see why I brought up the whole Powerpuff Girls thing and why they made so many changes and how that got so much flagged by people. Like people were laughing at that shit and people were like just disgusted. I'm just like, oh my god, this is ass. Like again, this is just fucking terrible. Yeah, obviously that's not gonna help it. That's not gonna fly either. like with Scooby-Doo. Like I don't know why she thinks that's gonna work because it's not. I'm sorry. I gotta get it. I gotta just get all of that out, man. Um, but no. And one of my one of the, like my well, I wouldn't say he's my favorite YouTuber, but there's always a YouTuber I like to listen to. His name is Young Ripa. I'll probably insert a clip after I'm done talking about this right quick. But basically he has a problem with the whole multiverse thing and stuff, where like like at least in comics and stuff, because he hates multiverse concepts in the comics. Most of my stuff I think it's kind of cool, but I do get what he's saying though, that sometimes with the multiverse stuff, how writers think that it can be just a free for all, that fuck consistency, fuck continuity. They can just do whatever they want with X, Y, and Z character. They can definitely make Spider-Man into this gay Muslim character or something. They can whatever. I mean, it gives them like creative freedom to just use shit like that, which is just terrible. So yeah, so here's the clip.
Did a video a while back talking about this whole "it's a different universe," and you have to always analyze comic book live action depictions, different universe, different universe, different universe. I'm gonna tell you and explain yet again why that is such a stupid argument. First of all, I just want to be transparent. I'm not a fan of different universes and multiverses concepts, multiversal concepts in comic books. It incentivizes laziness. What makes comic books great is the continuity in this, or this canon rather, in which all of these characters exist when it comes to mainstream comics in the same kind of plane. And what a multiversal aspect does is it allows the writer for a free-for-all, basically, to just take the character and do whatever it is that he wants. And none of those stories ever matter. I know some of y'all like that Earth 2 crap or elsewhere. I'm not a fan. I've never been a fan of that stuff because it doesn't matter. Like I don't read comics just for a cool story. I read it for a cool story, but in the context of a larger world, which is what it does. It incentivizes creativity, and multiverses actually just say, you know what, screw it. But really what that point comes from is it's people wanting to like something that has happened recently in a live action setting. So whether it be in a TV show or let's say a movie, and they don't want you to say, okay, this isn't necessarily accurate. Now, I will say again, a lot of them operate from a straw man. And that straw man is that everybody that is a comic book fan that is critical of an inaccurate depiction needs for the live action depiction to be exactly verbatim, like the comic book. Now, again, even if they did do it, there's nothing bad about that. However, that's not the expectation. And as a nerd to this stuff, I don't know anybody that has that expectation. People think I have that expectation, but again, what they're trying to do is shut the conversation up, right? They're trying to shut the conversation up because they want you to be a consumer to the point to where you have to accept. I saw a comment the other day on my own YouTube, not even joking, said that the comic books should be. Let me see if I can actually find this comment real quick, because you can't search comments. Let me see if I can find this. And it was the most bonehead thing that I had seen. And let me see if I can see it real quick and find it. Where the guy basically said that the comic book should be thrown like to the side, as in they shouldn't even be a thing. It was the most bizarre thing I had seen. Let me see. Let me see if I can find this comment real quick, because I want to show you guys just for the sake of content or context. But the whole point in using a comic book character, here we go. Here it is. Here's the comment right here. It says, a movie should be able to stand on its own. The comics in this case should be ignored. And obviously I said, as you said, I think it's very stupid to say the comics should be ignored when the movie is about a comic book character or about comic book characters. So stupid. Like, do you understand how dumb that is? And it's funny because from non-comic book related material, it's okay to follow the books there, right? So when something like that has lore to it, whether it be Lord of the Rings or stuff that is already established, what's that movie? What's that show that everybody, Game of Thrones or something like that, which has some like source material and then it doesn't follow it and then people get mad. That's fine. But the comic book guys do it and we're like, well, it's a different universe. Well, you can't do that. All they're trying to do is shut you up. But it's a bad argument because everybody knows that these characters are coming from the books. And the books came first. Right? That was where you got the character's name. You got that from the books. The fact that some people have an expectation that it should be accurate, at least to the sense that the character is the character that we have read, is not a egregious expectation. The straw man that they operate on is that it should be it's a different universe, and therefore you expect it to be exact. Those different universes in the comic book, I know most of them are stupid, right? And generally speaking, we know there's a main universe in Marvel and a main universe in DC, and those are generally understood to be the characters. The alternate universe stuff is just that. Now, again, I've made my arguments on why they're stupid and incentivizing laziness. But generally, if you're going to bring a character crossing into a live action setting, definitely one that's existed for decades, we already know who that character is. In a main universal setting, we know. All we're expecting from the live action is that it honors that. Doesn't have to be the direct adaptation. It can be a brand new story that we're completely new to. It's what current comic book writers, the one that are worth a damn, there's not a lot of them in mainstream comics, but that's what they do all the time. That's what separates a bad writer from a good one. A good writer can take a story that makes sense for that character. Setting, place, time, experience, everything. And it can be brand new and fresh. Crap writers have to change the character itself to adjust to their standards because they have an inability to operate within the confines that was already set for the character that they didn't create. So it's a different universe. It's such a crap argument. It doesn't make sense when you're grabbing characters that have already existed anyway. It's not a free-for-all, and it shouldn't be treated as a free-for-all. If that was the case, why would you use the character in the first place? Why use them? If it's just going to be a free-for-all, why not name them, I don't know, whatever. Have them act different, have them look different, because at that point it's effectively not. But you're using the name of the character. Why? Because you're trying to capture the fans and the fanatics and the people that have grown up with the character or supported the character in the first place. That's the whole reason you're grabbing them from the comics. So why wouldn't we refer to it in terms of an expectation?
You guys can put Scooby-Doo in so many different types of adventures, okay? And we're gonna go down the list of all the things Scooby-Doo kids have went on. They have fought monsters, hung out with monsters, zombies, traveled the world. They've been in a freaking talent show. They met Kiss, okay? They went on an adventure with Kiss. Blue Falcon, okay? Batman, all of that stuff. They even time traveled. They hung out with Wednesday Addams. They literally taught monsters.
That doesn't really pardon the whole inconsistencies, and let's just, I don't know, make Fred have some male love interest and Shaggy Latino. Like, no.
Their children, okay? There literally is no excuse for you to switch up the mystery gang, okay? You can make these different kinds of people. It is not impossible for them to be different kinds of people. If you can put these young adults in multiple different scenarios, they can be different. They don't have to be straight white people all the freaking time, especially in this day and age, okay? Because like I said,
Yeah,
straight white
because
people are not the only
understands
ones
it.
who enjoy Scooby-Doo.
I
Scooby-Doo
mean, because lately, with comic books and stuff, the reason why they've been flopping is because writers have been prioritizing stuff like that and whatnot. And again, I'm not really a big comic book reader. I like anime and manga. But I'm just saying though, it's not like this doesn't like go under the radar. Like, come on, there's always be making press where stuff like, oh yeah, let's make Superman bisexual, but it's not actually Superman, which is a good thing, but it's his son, John Kent. Like, look, I made that video a little while back about Tim Drake and why that makes no sense because Tim Drake is honestly probably one of my favorite DC characters. If I'm going to be honest, yeah, it's probably one of my favorite DC characters. And Tim Drake's not bisexual. Like they just made him bisexual because, well, I already explained all my reasons in that video. Because the writer wanted to just write themselves into the character for one. They wanted to pervert the character. They wanted to, I don't know, check a box. They wanted to, I don't know, whatever. Like Hey, look, and I don't have a problem with characters that are gay or bisexual. Sorry, that are gay or bisexual and stuff, because there are plenty of that in comics and stuff, and that's fine. Or at least, yeah, there are some characters like that. Um, and whatnot, like a lot of noble characters. But for Tim Drake, for example, has always been straight, right? And then suddenly he's just bisexual, and now we're just gonna put him on a pedestal for being like one of the best gay superheroes. Like, what? And then they're doing that with freaking Superboy. I don't care if he's Superman, it's Superboy. That's John Kent and whatnot. The real Superman is supposed to be freaking Clark Kent, Kal-El. And now they're making and I'm not a big Superman fan either, but they're making freaking John Kent um bisexual and on some kind of like relationship with some weird pink-haired I don't know, reporter guy who considers himself some kind of hacktivist who can't be injured or damaged somehow. Like, what? Like, this is freaking terrible writing and stuff. Yeah, I'm like, this is terrible writing. And this would be terrible writing too if all these and again, it's a good thing she doesn't have any creative control over Scooby-Doo. I'm just saying, because I mean, it's not like she does, which is fine and stuff. I'm just saying that these ideas are just trash.
is loved by everyone. Scooby-Doo is very, very universal. We would love to see some change to the Mystery Inc. Is this gonna make me stop?
The minority of people, and even like for the minorities of like the minority of minority people will want change like that and whatnot. Like, not trust me, there are plenty of black gay people who will prefer Scooby Doo just stay the way they are and whatnot. It's not gonna improve their lives if the Mystery Incorporated gang was just changed and whatnot. And again, fuck consistency, right? Like, come on. Like, nobody's not gonna watch Scooby Doo after this or gonna like it and whatnot if all these decisions got okayed. That's not what makes Scooby Doo iconic in the first place. Scooby Doo's iconic for their mysteries and stuff, for their well, they have like a shit ton of movies and stuff. And I'm not talking about like live action. Like, they have a couple of live action, like I think total 3 or 4. But in terms of like, but I'm saying like animated movies. Yeah, they got like a ton of those, etc. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, like they have a lot of cartoons. It's been around for about what, just about 50. Yeah, it's been around for like 50 years at this point. Since like I want to say like 1969. So yeah, it's been Scooby Doo has been around for a minute. So yeah, 50 years. I mean, yeah, so that's pretty cool. But to get all these changes and stuff and be like, oh no, it just needs a moderate update. No, it doesn't. I'm like, no, it doesn't. Maybe by modern take, I guess you can probably throw in like some technology and stuff like, oh, smartphones and stuff like that, um, or whatever. Maybe the dates and the time, I guess. But that's it. Like, the Mr. Incorporated gang's good the way they are. They don't got to be changed for by any means and whatnot. Like I said, these ideas are ridiculous in itself. So yeah, and it's gonna end up like Powerpuff Girls, like that CW Powerpuff Girls. That, oh my god, seems even worse than that reboot version of Powerpuff Girls. If I'm gonna be honest, Yeah, like that script alone was probably worse than anything that what the reboot had put out. So yeah, and Powerpuff Girls Z, I don't know, like I don't think that was that good either. It's been a while since I've seen that, but yeah, but yeah, you can't like I don't know. A lot of people say you can't beat the classics. I mean, you can, but not like this. Not like this.
Not watching Scooby-Doo? No. I adore Scooby-Doo. I love it so much, but it would be nice to be able to see myself in this franchise, like in the main group, not as
I know I got 3 minutes left, and that's a retarded thing too. You want to see yourself in these characters and stuff, but you're limited to by your race and your sexual orientation. Ridiculous. Look, there are plenty of characters that I idolized ever since I was a kid, like Sonic, Teenage Mutant Turtles, and stuff. And I don't look a goddamn thing like Sonic, right? Um, again, um, again, look at my face reveal video. I don't look anything like Sonic. Sonic's or actually, I don't even think nobody on this planet, like a human being, does not look like Sonic. Sonic is a toony looking bubbly kind of blue hedgehog and whatnot that runs at super speeds. I don't look anything like that. The Teenage Mutant Turtles, they're turtles and they're mutants and they're ninjas. I don't look anything like that, but I can still feel like I can relate to these characters, right? And there's some of my best and like some of the my favorite fictional characters and just all the time. Naruto, I love Naruto as a character. I don't look anything like Naruto. Naruto's blonde. He has blue eyes. He has like kind of whiskers on his face, so to speak. Well, I kind of have an orange jacket now too, but still, that's Naruto. I don't look anything like Naruto, but I can feel like I would relate to him, or I can see myself in him. Mineta, from My Hero Academia. I know Mineta doesn't get a lot of love, but I can see myself in Mineta and whatnot. Even though I'm not like 4 feet tall, and I don't have like purple balls that I can just throw, like I can just tear off my head and just throw them. Yeah, I look nothing like that, but I can still see myself in these characters. So again, don't limit yourself to just your race and your sexual orientation. A lot of people can be a lot more deeper than that in terms of like just personality or character. Like I can definitely see myself in characters like I don't know, Legoshi from Beastars and stuff. Legoshi is literally a 6'5" wolf, a gray wolf, and whatnot. I'm like 5'7", and I'm a human being, but I can still see myself in this character and whatnot. You know what I mean? So I mean, but yeah, it's up to you if you want to just keep yourself like that. But I just feel like that's a very regressive thing to do.
just a side character. Because when it comes to In the Heights, that's what really bothered me about the film, is that when you looked in the background, you saw so many brown, black faces, like so many darker skinned people and things like that. But then when you looked at the main cast, everybody was either light skinned or white passing. And that's just the frustrating thing about Scooby-Doo, is because as much as they do all this stuff with diversity, this franchise still focuses on a group of white people. And race bending, y'all. Gender bending, okay? Even
Again, that's not a bad thing that it's just a group of white people. I mean, the Fantastic Four is literally a group of white people. So what? And again, gender bending, race bending, sexuality bending, no, that's a literally spit in the face to those fans and to the people who actually came up with these characters and wrote those stories. By saying,
add some
hey,
LGBTQ within the group,
product's
okay?
not good enough.
There are so many different possibilities for other people to see themselves within these spaces, okay? There are so many different kinds of Scooby-Doo. And it would just be nice to see a person of color in the mystery gang. It would be nice to see a person that is not straight in the mystery gang. It would just be a nice change, y'all. Please, 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 please. Like, we know it's canon that Velma isn't in certain variations, but come on, y'all.
Well, that's
come
been
on.
retconned, but
If you like this video, please make sure you give it a thumbs up and make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. I love you guys so freaking much. If you like this video, please consider joining my Patreon. Lowest tier is $1. Most expensive tier is $5. So I do try to keep it very affordable over there. I offer a lot of exclusive benefits over there, including my Discord server. Many of you guys have been asking for my Discord, and you have to be on my Patreon to get it. So yeah, consider joining my Patreon, please. Also, I have a buy me a coffee link if you don't want to join Patreon and you just want to give me a nice little tip. I will have that link down below. I have a web series, by the way, called The Progenies. It is based off Disney's Descendants. I will have our pilot link down below and our Instagram page link down below. I also have merchandise, by the way, harryannahook.com.
Alright. So, I mean, pretty much we just got away everything that she basically said. Like I said, you see why I want to make videos on her. A couple more videos, not too much, but just a couple more videos. And if she puts out something else stupid, then I might want to react to that as well. But yeah, this is one of those reasons. I'm like, this is ridiculous. So moral of the story here is don't confine yourself. Like if you want to see yourself in a character, or yeah, I mean honestly, you don't even have to like see yourself in a character to feel validated or whatever. But if you want to see yourself in a character, don't limit your race and your sexuality and stuff. And this doesn't have any impact on kids whatsoever. And whatnot in terms of like, oh well, we need more gay people in Mystery Incorporated, more black people, more ethnic characters inside Mystery Incorporated. No, you don't. Mystery Incorporated is good the way it is, and just leave it at that. But anyways, that's my video. I hope you guys enjoyed my talk and stuff, or my well, I guess my whole little rant, I guess, on Harriyanna. But there are plenty of diverse cartoons that have been back in the day, like Josie and the Pussycats, like she mentioned earlier. There's other stuff like, I don't know, Johnny Quest, Jungle Book, Tom and Jerry, Super Friends, Charlie Brown, Teenage Turtles and stuff. And this stuff has been around since like, I don't know, between like the freaking 40s and the 60s and stuff and whatnot. Well, I mean, TMNT was in the 80s, but at least like back in the day, yeah, it's not like this is just some new revolution that we just got ethnic characters and stuff. No. So, but anyways, this is the Keenest Fox, and I am out. Peace. And until we meet again.
You have the stereotype. You've got the Wall Street guy, of course he's white, in a nice sort of Armani suit. And then he gets mugged by the guy, the black guy from the Bronx, of course, we'll play all the stereotypes. And then he screams and boom, boom, here comes the hero Spider-Man. He comes down there and he webs up the mugger. And just as the Wall Street guy's walking away, he says, "Oh, thanks, Spidey. And I'm glad you got that." And he says his epitaph that about the black man. And I wanted Spider-Man to go poof and take that Wall Street guy against the wall, because he's covered from head to toe. Unlike Batman, he's covered from head to toe, and go poof. What color do you think I am underneath this mask? And just for a moment go, why has nobody ever asked the question? I mean, you know, the stories were always Spider-Man, the villain, J. Jonah Jameson made him the bad guy in the news, but nobody asked, what's his nationality, right? Is he a terrorist? Is he a Muslim? Nobody asked about anything. We just assumed he was just that traditional, standard, white, good-looking dude that was there. We did forget about that, right? I mean, because I never wanted the minority superheroes were like Black Panther and Luke Cage, and then there were some others from some smaller companies, and they made the color of their skin a point. I didn't want it to be a point. I wanted it to be a non-issue. Why couldn't a guy who had a different pigmentation do the same heroic deeds, have the same wants and needs as us privileged white people? And the answer is they do and they can. We just forget about it sometimes. And so that was sort of the impetus of all of it.